In this video, I want to lay out a foundation on how to learn trading in 5 days. And before we start, I want to show you what most beginners do without knowing anything, which is open up a trading account, deposit $500, and purchase a random option contract with no idea what they're doing. So that's what I'm going to do right now. I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to buy this $445 option contract on Tesla. And at the end of this video, we're going to see if I end up making money or losing money, so stay tuned for that. Now, wouldn't it be great if you could become a successful trader in just 5 days? Imagine waking up Monday knowing nothing about trading, and Friday you're making a full-time salary, you're able to quit your job and become a day trader in the stock market. But let's face it, trading is a journey, it's not a sprint. This is a game that does take time, but I at least want to give you a direction on how I'd spend 5 days, my first 5 days, if I was looking to learn how to trade as efficiently as possible. But just know, I don't know anyone that has actually been able to learn something in 5 days and be able to continue doing that and finding the success they did in that 5 days for the next 5 years. Because our goal as traders is to find that consistent profitability in the stock market. And so while you might be able to make money your first 5 days, that is not going to be anything sustainable. So day number 1, let's talk about the fundamental idea and core understanding of a market or a marketplace. So it is called the stock market for a reason. And what do you do at a market? You buy things or you sell things. So whether we're trading options or buying shares of a stock, what we're actually doing is we are making an exchange. We are selling to someone or we are buying from someone. So there is always someone on the other end of a transaction. If I have an option contract that I want to sell, I'm going to be selling it to a real person and they're going to be actually buying it from me and then holding it. So we're pretty much swapping hands with option contracts in a sense. But what you have to understand is that there's a loser on either side, and you're either going to be making or losing money at the end of the day. When you get in a contract, you're going to sell that option contract for a win or for a loss. And if it's for a loss, the guy on the other end, well, he's essentially going to be paying you for that contract and you're going to be getting out of it and taking that loss. So you have to know when we are exchanging, like I said, contracts or shares of a stock between one another, there is always someone on the losing side of a transaction. Now, day number 2 is going to be all about strategies. Now, you can't learn a strategy in one day. However, you can start exploring various trading strategies that would align with your goals. And when I say that, you have to decide whether you want to swing trade or day trade. Now, knowing the difference between both is going to help you. A day trade is when you're buying and selling a stock or option contract within that same day. You're entering and you're exiting. Whereas a swing trade is when you're buying and selling, but not on the same day. You're actually holding into the next day. So if I bought an option contract today, if I was a swing trader, I would be holding it until at least tomorrow before I sold it, if not multiple days or even weeks. Now, knowing that day trading to a certain degree does require more time based off what you do, based off of your job, and how much time flexibility do you have, and when you have time to trade, that is going to make a big difference on whether or not you choose swing trading or day trading and what the actual strategy pertaining to that style of trading is going to be. For example, my swing trading strategy happens every day between 3 to 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Now, that is when I'm sitting down and I'm actually putting on a trade. I'm spending that hour to do the work I need to do. Whereas my day trading strategy happens between 9:30 to 11, where I'm spending that first hour and a half of the day to do the work that I need to do. So again, decide based off of your life and your goals if you want to swing trade or day trade, and then pertaining to one or the other, you have to decide what strategy you'd like to follow. Some strategies for day trading happen in the afternoon, some for swing trading happen in the morning. But the point is, you need to educate yourself to be able to make a decision, because what I see is traders try to do both. And I have seen many times that if you try to do both, you're not going to end up making money. Maybe after years and years of day trading, you can start swing trading, or swing trading, you can start day trading. For example, that's what I've done. But as a beginner, you just want to focus on one thing. Now, day 3 is when you're actually going to start looking for that strategy. Now, when I say looking for that strategy, you have to realize that there is so much information on YouTube, on the internet. There are so many different ways to trade and so many different ways to lose money and make money. right? At the end of the day, we want to make money. And so it is in your best interest to find someone from day number 3 that, you feel confident in, that you relate to, that they have obviously proven whatever it is they're doing, whether that's swing trading or day trading, based off of what you decided to move forward with, that they've proven that they're successful in doing so. So if you are able to find someone from day number 3 to follow along, you have to then commit to the time it'll take to learn their system, to learn their strategies. I will say, instead of day number 3 being you jumping all over the place, trying different things, applying indicators to your chart and getting overwhelmed, just start by doing research on mentors and people that educate you. Now, if you decide not to go the route of a mentor or taking a course, that's fine. Just know that it is going to take you a whole lot longer to learn that skill. Now, it's like anything in life. If you want to learn something, it's better to have a teacher to learn. Otherwise, that time it's going to take you to learn is not only going to be exponentially longer, but with trading specifically, you're going to end up losing more than likely a whole lot more money just trying to see what works and what doesn't. And I'm not saying when you invest in a mentor, you're not going to lose money. You have to know that losing money is inevitable. It is part of trading. But if you want to go become an athlete, you're more than likely going to want to join a team. You're going to want to have a coach, and it's the same thing in trading. So it's day 4. At this point, you should understand the overall underlying premise of what the stock market is and what you're getting into, right? And you should understand, based off of your goals, that you've at this point hopefully decided whether you want to learn to swing trade or day trade. And then after doing research and looking into different ways to educate yourself, hopefully you've chosen someone. And that doesn't have to be myself, although I will put a link in the description below to my mentorship. Now, I've been trading for 8 years. I trade options in the stock market. And even though I do offer resources that could help you, I do want you to take the time to go out and see who you really enjoy listening to, who you relate to, who you think you would find success in following, in hopes to obviously educate, learn, and be able to execute and make money. This is going to be crucial no matter what you are doing, no matter if you're swing trading, day trading, no matter who you follow. You need to understand the importance of risk management. Now, every trader is going to manage risk in different ways. I will say, if the coach you follow has a system in place that allows you to manage risk, great. But managing risk is extremely, extremely difficult for most beginners to wrap their mind around because it is a very, I would say, complex subject, which can be very overwhelming and lead a lot of traders to just deciding they don't even want to look into managing risk at all because it seems too complicated. But it's funny because if I look back on my trading, instead of focusing on trying to find a strategy that quote unquote works or how to, make or increase my win rate, I would just focus on risk management and understanding how to properly manage risk. Understanding if you want to trade a stock and you want to risk more sometimes than others, well, that is all going to come down to how much you're risking, and it's going to come down to how much you're risking in return to how much you're going to make in reward. There are a lot of dynamics, and I hope to not confuse you, but I did build a risk management calculator, which, because I'm not great at math and I like to simplify everything, this risk management calculator has helped me and my students a lot, and it is able to essentially cater to the individual based off of how they want to manage risk, because you're going to see a lot of opposing biases and opinions when it comes to risk management. Some traders like trading and optimizing for higher win rates or lower win rates, or the question is, what do you even optimize for? But in short, I just want you to take away on day number 4 that risk management should almost be put before even learning a specific technical or fundamental strategy. So learn risk before you learn what stock to trade and what direction to bet on it going, because without risk, it doesn't matter if you can find the best stock and the best opportunity, because at the end of the day, you're just going to end up giving back all your gains. Day 5, you need to understand and realize how most of these days we're spending just learning. We're not actively doing anything. We're understanding the most important certain things to set ourselves up for success. We want to understand that at the end of the day, trading is difficult. And if it was easy, well, everyone would do it and everyone would succeed. But what you see is that everyone does it and most people fail. And you are going to need what I like to say is an edge. You're going to need an edge in the market. Now, without going into too much detail, just know an edge is what is going to set you apart from the majority of people that do fail. Because your edge can be found through spending more time on a chart, looking at a certain pattern and obsessing over a certain technical strategy than anyone else. Your edge can be creating some algorithm or some system that is going to give you some information or is going to allow you to look at a chart and see it in a different way than other traders. Or your edge can be the way that you dynamically go about adjusting your risk in accordance to the varying win rates between these different chart patterns that you're trading. But you have to realize that there's really no one in the middle when it comes to the amount of time and discipline, and in return, the success you're able to find through trading. I know very few guys that are actually able to come into the market and, spend 4 to 5 hours a week on their own and do really well. I see the people that either come in and copy and follow someone, and they essentially are just listening to a mentor and following along, copying their moves to make money, or you have someone who is just obsessed about it for a very long time. Either way, whatever side you're on, whether you decide to just follow a mentor and copy their trades, or whether you decide to actually just obsess over trading, at the end of the day, know that the in-between is very hard to find. And I'm not saying copying a mentor is good or it's bad, but copying a mentor, I can also, put, I guess, under the same umbrella as just learning someone's trading system, someone who has already proven that there is an edge or has already directly given you that edge to find success. And you should be able to explain what your edge is in a couple of sentences. My edge is trading order flow. It is what helps me find that consistency and profitability in the market. And so at the end of the day, put in the time and commitment to find your own edge, or whether you want to find a mentor and, actually apply their edge, you will need an edge in the market. Because if you're just thinking that you're going to come in here, you're going to spend a couple hours a week, you're going to put on some trades, you're not going to end up making money in the long run. So as kind of my final thoughts before we check on my trade to see if I ended up making or losing money, you have to realize that you can't actually learn how to trade in 5 days. You can learn the basics and start understanding what you're going to need to learn over the next 5 years. Hopefully that learning curve for you will not be that long, right? I hope that you'll be able to find success trading in less than a year or two. But at the end of the day, I don't like anyone starting out trading with unrealistic expectations. So you can start understanding the basics of trading in 5 days. But if you see anyone telling you that you can learn how to trade in 5 days, or that they've learned how to trade in 5 days, what they're saying is they were lucky, they made money in 5 days, and they're not going to be making money in a year from now. They'll probably have given back everything they made. And like I said, I will put a link in the description below to my mentorship group. You can click on that, you can apply, you can learn more about what I do offer as a mentor and a coach in this space. Now, I've been helping hundreds of traders over the last 3+ years find that consistency and profitability in the market. But with that said, let's check on the trade that I entered in the beginning of this video to see if I ended up losing my entire $400 or not. Now, again, I did this to show you what most beginners will do, so hopefully you don't do the same thing yourself. And it looks like we ended up losing 3%. Now, let's be honest, no one likes losing money. I don't like losing money. It is part of trading, but at least put yourself in a position where you are educated enough to not be that guy. With that said, I'm going to close this trade out. I'm going to take my loss, and hopefully, knowing what you know today, that will never be you. Subscribe for more, and I'll see you in the next one. Later.